Have you ever wondered why some people always get their way? Why they walk into a room and the energy shifts? Why they close the deal, win the argument, gain the influence, and somehow you end up agreeing to things you never planned to? What if I told you it's not luck? It's not charisma. It's strategy. And worse, these strategies have already been used on you more times than you think. But once you learn them, the game flips. Suddenly, the people who once controlled you lose their power, and you become someone they can't manipulate anymore. That's the part they fear. Centuries ago, Niccolo Machiavelli observed something most people still can't accept. Humans run on predictable patterns. Desire, fear, ego, pride, loyalty. They make us easy to influence. And the people who always get what they want, they don't rely on brute force. They pull subtle psychological levers. They understand what Machiavelli implied again and again. People are moved more by their internal weaknesses than by external threats. Once you learn these pressure points, you stop being the target, and you become the strategist. Here's the first truth Machiavelli would whisper in your ear. People don't follow honesty, they follow perception. So the ones who always get what they want craft an image, not a fake one, a strategic one. They know that being underestimated is a superpower. They know that appearing calm makes others rush. They know that silence is louder than arguments. They let people project their own hopes, fears, and insecurities onto them. And then they play the role those people expect, because when someone thinks you're predictable, you can move freely while they stay blind. The second truth, you never ask for power directly. Machiavelli warned that when you show desire too openly, you trigger resistance. So the people who always win use indirect influence. They guide choices, without appearing to guide them. They plant ideas subtly and let others believe those ideas were their own. They make you feel like you're in control while you're walking exactly where they want you. If you've ever said, "I don't know why, but this feels right," congratulations. Someone guided you with Machiavellian precision. But here's where it gets darker. Machiavelli understood that humans crave validation more than truth, and modern manipulators weaponize that. They mirror your emotions, your values, your frustrations. They make you feel understood, instantly. Because once someone feels seen, they drop their guard. And when the guard drops, influence begins. If you've ever opened up to someone too fast, if you've ever trusted someone who later betrayed you, you weren't stupid. You were mirrored. You were psychologically disarmed. Now let's flip the script. Here's how you use this knowledge responsibly, ethically, but powerfully. First, stop broadcasting your intentions. Your goals are not meant for everyone. When people see your plan, they interfere. When they can't read you, they can't block you. Second, pay attention to what people fear losing, not what they claim to want. Fear drives decisions more strongly than desire. If you can understand what someone is terrified of, you understand their behavior and their weak points. Machiavelli famously observed that fear maintains control more consistently than love. But he also warned, if people fear you too much, they destroy you. Balance is everything. Here's a psychological tactic few talk about. Controlled unpredictability. Not chaos, not drama. Just enough deviation that people reconsider underestimating you. People respect what they can't fully calculate. When someone always gets their way, it's usually because others walk on mental eggshells around them. You never want to be predictable enough that others can manipulate or contain you. Another Machiavellian insight. People are loyal to what they gain from you, not to you personally. Harsh, but true. So stop expecting lifelong loyalty from people who are only around for convenience. Instead, align incentives. Make sure relationships are balanced. Make sure giving doesn't become exploitation. The people who take advantage of you do it because you haven't set internal terms. Machiavelli understood that power is lost not when others overpower you, but when you fail to recognize their motives. Now let's talk about emotional control, a cornerstone of power. The most influential people stay calm when others react. They remain still when others panic. They make decisions based on strategy, not impulse. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means mastering the timing of them. Showing anger at the right moment is more powerful than showing it constantly. Showing disappointment once is more powerful than complaining endlessly. Emotional precision is influence. Machiavelli would also remind you of this. The person who frames the story controls the outcome. The people who always win at life don't let others define the narrative. They choose their angle. They choose what details get emphasized and what gets ignored. They are the editor, not the audience. If you let other people tell the story of who you are, you lose by default. But here's the twist. Machiavelli wasn't teaching you to be manipulative. He was teaching you to survive, to understand the world without illusions, to stop walking blindly into traps, to recognize the strategies already being used on you every day by bosses, partners, co-workers, influencers, corporations, even friends. Because once you see the game, you can never unsee it. So here's your turning point. From now on, observe more, speak less, notice what people respond to. Notice how quickly they reveal themselves when they think you aren't paying attention. Notice who tries to rush you. Rushing is a manipulation tactic. Notice who demands clarity while giving you none. Withholding information is another tactic. Notice who flatters you too fast. That's disarming. Notice who guilt trips you. That's control. You are surrounded by strategies, but now you can recognize them. And once you recognize them, something powerful happens. You stop being reactive. You stop giving automatic yeses. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't deserve explanations. You stop falling for emotional hooks designed to drain your time, your energy, your self-respect. You stop being someone people can easily predict and easily use. Because the moment you understand Machiavelli's psychological insights, you don't become manipulative. You become sovereign. You become someone who navigates life with intention instead of confusion. Someone who reads people effortlessly. Someone who cannot be intimidated, rushed, or coerced. Someone who wins ethically, calmly, strategically, simply because you finally see the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. And here's the final truth Machiavelli would want you to understand. Power isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself so fully that no one else can dominate you. The moment you reclaim that power, the people who used to control you lose their grip, and the life you thought was out of reach becomes the one you effortlessly shape. If you're ready to go deeper into psychological strategy, human behavior, and the hidden principles that govern influence, make sure you subscribe. Because once you start learning this, the world opens up in ways you never imagined, and you'll never see people the same way again.